Okay, so I'm looking at the E-mini Russell 2000 today after the market open here at 9:30. I'm gonna talk pretty quickly here because looks like I'm gonna be getting in after this reaches zero here. The countdown. So we've got a huge box down here with a positive delta. MBox delta, so that's a huge imbalance. Normally when you see a red box down like this, you should see the delta down. Here the fact that it's a plus delta on this down box means there's more buying. So you see the selling occurred here, price went down, the delta shows selling here, price went down, delta shows buying. That's a huge imbalance. So let's wait 3 seconds and I'm going to be getting in. Okay, I'm in. Going to put the stop below the low and the profit here, and I'll explain why in just a second. So normally, like I said, when price moves down, the delta is also down, right? So the fact that you have more buying than selling and the price is going down, that's a huge imbalance. And why is this important here? Because usually you don't see huge fat big boxes in the MBox delta like this. So this is a huge imbalance. It's a huge imbalance. So if you compare with the other boxes, it just the sheer nature of the size. All right, so we had an up bar here. That's when we got in. It looks like we've got the next down bar. It's also developing an imbalance if this closes here. Okay, we've also got an imbalance here. All right, so looks like we've got a double buy imbalance here. So that actually gives strength to our setup. Actually curious to see this bar close to see if this balance remains, because right now it's updating right here. So currently, yes, this is a buy imbalance. So after it closes, let's see what happens. We're starting to see cumulative delta turn up. Okay, so that's good. So cumulative delta shows you the overall consensus, where the MBox delta shows you, per these boxes. This will show you the general condition, is the market biased, bullish or bearish. So we're starting to see the market turn up, so to turn bullish, so that's good. Okay, but it looks like we could get stopped out. I hope we don't. But this is a huge imbalance here. I don't like to move stops after I get in. I think it's bad practice. We may have to get back in if we get stopped out. But it looks like this setup is still legitimate. Okay, this is a huge now buy imbalance. Okay, we got stopped out. That's fine. Let's see what happens here. I think we're going to be getting back in if the price starts to turn back up. I mean, everything is showing that it will. The cumulative delta. It looks like we're going back up. We've got 4 seconds left, so let's get ready to pull the trigger. Okay, I'm getting in. All right, and I'll explain why I'm putting the. Okay. So we're back in. Cumulative delta turned up. Yeah, okay, so we're biased. So we know the bias here. So actually, that was correct. We have all this accumulation going on here, all this buying, all this accumulation, especially here, since we have so much buying here and the price didn't move much. So we got two double buy imbalances here, and it looks like price started to turn up. I'm expecting price to recover at least to here due to all this imbalances, and then to the previous resistance line, just because markets like to come back, test resistance areas, support areas, and those are legitimate entry exits, you know, to get out of trades. So it looks like our trade did go up, and you know, let's I'm gonna pause the video because we're probably gonna wait for a little while, and then I'll come back in. Okay, so now we've come back, and you know, price did go in our direction. You know, this is an area, it's testing the breakdown area, so you know, we did get a sell signal here. It doesn't mean that, you know, it's time, or we're selling or changing or reversing positions. You know, a lot of people could be, you know, hitting their take profits, you know, and just exiting. You know, if we draw a line here, we'll see that this is the breakdown area, and we've just come back up to it, and you know, people could be exiting positions, so there could be reaccumulation here, absorption happening. The cumulative demand shows we're in good shape. We are still heavily biased bullish. The fact, you know, we see a low here, MBox delta compared to the price, doesn't mean there's no demand here. Remember, we saw all this buying here. Okay, so you know, this was the fuel that led to this price going up here. That's fine. You know, I would pay more attention to this MBox delta being low if I didn't see all this, but since I saw all that, this is okay. You know, there was still demand and price went up. The fact that it went up and really did not need more buying here, which I call fuel, is the equivalent of fuel. The fact that it went up without much fuel here is a great indication that you know, price will likely continue to rise, and this confirms my take profit level here, that you know, price went up, and it went up really very easily here. So I'm looking to get back in here potentially. I'm seeing a pullback here. I'd like to confirm that, you know, we take out, you know, this high, and that would give me reassurance that we're on our way up again. So I'm gonna have my button on the buy button here. Okay, I'm gonna get back in. So the stop I'm gonna place below the pullback. Same target profit. Okay, that -8, this was a low volume pullback. We're still heavily biased with demand. You know, we still had all these big buy imbalances that needs to be resolved. So I don't see much here, but that's okay, since this is still the driving factor. If I saw something more extreme here, like a big down delta or something else, then you know, I'd reconsider that. So I'll put the video on pause and then come back, and let's see what happens, if we're going to hit this profit or if we're going to get stuck here. All right. Okay, so now it looks like we're well on our way. We're getting closer to our take profit level. We had some, you know, a little bit of retracement here. We had these stooges. I didn't get back in here or here. Well, this prints after this is up, so that would be a, it looks like we're gonna hit it right now. Sort of exciting when you're about to hit. There we go, we're done. Wow. Overall 203 points, taking into account, that's the daily profit loss. That already takes into account the minus, I believe it was minus 21 points. So plus 203 points. Well, I'm trading 10 contracts. So it looks like price is continuing to rise, but that's fine. I hit my target, hit my goal. Um, in trading, you never know exactly where it's going to go. You can't get too greedy. You have to trade with a certain set of rules. You know, and who knows? It looks like the cumulative delta dropped here. MBox delta is showing up, but we have a huge drop in cumulative delta, so this is a divergence. So the technical analysis shows that we could have I don't know, could get stuck here, could reverse. We have a divergence here, so that's fine. I want to talk a little bit about hitting your target profits and things like that. So we hit it here, and that was the initial goal. That was a huge risk reward. I mean, we got in. So the stop goes here. We got in here, and we exited here. Well, that was the line. Our risk reward when we got in here was 6.86. Our stop was 22 ticks. That was the bottom here, right? So, when I saw the setup, when you see these sort of setups, we're going for a nice risk reward. Okay, we're not going for just a 1-to-1. Usually I'm looking at three, a factor of 3. Sometimes it could be 2 if it's more a small imbalance, and it's unsure how long it's going to pan out for. But here worked out to a 6.86, and then we had the pullback here, got back in. Why didn't I get in on these? Well, I didn't get in on this because by the time this closes, that's just too big of a stop, and I don't want to get in. Even though I was close to the profit, I didn't want to get back in. This one, this is yet another retracement. I already had a position on here. There was some absorption going on. I already had on an add-on position here. I didn't like that, when I saw this signal, I didn't like that, I'm not seeing great demand in the MBox delta. The cumulative delta was still strong, but so that's why I didn't take this position. And then we just waited, to hit the target. Okay, and look, just as I said that, this looked like sort of something fishy because we had a drop in cumulative delta, but we had the MBox delta up, and look, we had a reversal here. So, remember when price started going up here, looked like, oh shoot, we should have stayed in longer, but look, we're coming back down. So that's why it's important, have your targets, when you hit it, and you hit your goal for the day, you're done. Okay, I've got 203 points for the day, so that's quite a bit. That's enough for me. Anyway, so that's the trade for the day, and I'm going to try to do these more regularly. Got a lot of requests for live trades, so hope you enjoyed it, and catch you next time. Bye bye.